Hey, what's up guys? Thanks again for joining me for another video. Today what we're going to talk about is the ins and outs of the fish room. Some of the intricacies of how I built it, the shelving, the filtration, the air, the water, drainage, just about everything. Had a few people ask about this, so I figured I'd make a video. I know one of the things whenever I watch a video of a fish room, I can't really get a true feel of exactly what it is that's going on in their fish room, like where it's actually kind of located, you know, if there are there windows, where do these doors lead, exactly what the size is. It's really difficult to figure it out. So I'm going to try my best to capture as much as I can on video, so maybe you guys can get a little bit better of an idea of what kind of Frankenstein thing I've created here. Just so you know that when I first started this, I didn't really have any idea exactly what I was doing. I didn't know what the plan was. I know I watched a bunch of videos that said, plan out your fish room, plan out your fish room, plan out your fish room, but man, I didn't even know what I was trying to accomplish. I didn't even know what size tanks I wanted. So I had no idea what I was gonna do. So I figured I'm just gonna fly by the seat of my pants, start building, and get to where I am now. Obviously the problem is with where I am now, there's a lot of things I wish I would have done differently and changed, and it's difficult when you got thousands of pounds of water holding shelves down. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's start the tour here. Let's see exactly where the room begins. So this is the washer and dryer room. This is the door that actually leads out to the fish room. So the first thing that we'll look at while we're here is to see exactly how I get my water. So if we come right about here, you'll see that I've got a bunch of this expanding hose. It's full of water right now. That's why it's going everywhere. I had an overfillage earlier, so I had to shut it off real quick. Typically I let all the water out of it so it shrinks back down to size and doesn't take up so much room. So I've got this just literally hooked into the washer and dryer fitting so that I can turn it on and off at any time, and this is my source of water to fill up my my trash cans that I have out there for the water that I use to fill the tanks. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our way through this door. Okay, so you can see this door opens up to the fish room here. Okay, so here we are in the fish room. Let's come on walking on in. And so the fish room is 11 foot by 14 foot deep. The room, again, is my garage. It's probably about 70 or so % of the garage. The reason that I have this room originally is when I was doing saltwater, I put multiple saltwater tanks out here, but I built this room about maybe half that size. Then I moved into chameleons and I needed more room, so I pushed that wall out, and then I pushed that wall out to give myself some more room. So let's kind of get an idea of how these walls work. So this wall that's straight ahead of us, there is a space in between this wall behind us, between that and where the brick is. The reason being is because the hot water heater is located behind there. So I had to pull the wall out a little bit. So, and then this door right here is a door that leads out to the garage. You'll see the one of the drainage pipes is here. We'll go over that a little bit in a minute. Okay, so this door leads out to the garage. So let's go ahead and come look out here. Okay, so here we are in the garage. So this door, you can see about how much room I have left in my garage. Excuse my table right here. This is where I throw all my tools at when I'm done with them in there. You see I've got tanks here that I've just bought that I've painting and put up. So what I like to call this space right here is this is my expanding space. So this is where I can push the wall out farther when I'm ready to put more tanks, which is at this point going to be a given. Okay, so here is the gap that I was telling you about. This is really a wreck back here. So you can see back here, it's dark, but you can see that's where the hot water heater is. So I had to build this wall probably about 3 foot away from it. And then down here, you may have heard me talk about before, this is a doggy door that goes outside. That's the brick on this side. So that is where I used to have all the air, the hot air from the air conditioner go outside. Right now, it just has the pipe that comes off of the drainage, that comes off the sump pump that pushes outside and that runs through the water sprinkler system I was talking about. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back inside so you guys kind of have an idea now, kind of the setup of it. Okay, so let's talk about the air. So right now, if you look up here, you can see I've got the Gemco. That one powers about, really about 50, probably 10-gallon tanks. It depends on the depth and stuff of them. And then I've got a smaller one here beside it. And then also I have another one right here. The reason I have these two small gray ones, well, they're not really that small, they're smaller than the Gemco, is because with running these, the 55-gallon and the 29-gallon, these deeper tanks, it takes a whole lot more pressure. So I was realizing with those, I was losing a lot of pressure to my other tanks. So I'm going to buy another Gemco one eventually, but those things are expensive. So right now I'm just using those two extra ones. They don't draw too much current, so it's not too big a deal. But those I don't have pushing into the manifold that I have going around. Those are just plugged directly into the tanks that are on this side of the room. So you can see here I've got the manifold that goes completely around the room. And of course I've got them drilled and tapped with these, man, I forgot the name of these dumb things last time too. I'll look it up. These, again, I got from Gemco, so each one of these is adjustable, so I can adjust it to each tank, and then it has its air. You see all these that are over here that don't have anything hooked up? That's because these were the ones that were originally hooked up to this side of the fish room that I disconnected. But yet all these over here where there's just stuff going everywhere, those are all hooked up and are running all these tanks. I think I can probably get maybe about 10 more 10-gallon tanks hooked up to this pump. That's not going to be enough. All right, thanks again, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I'd love for you guys to give it a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please feel free to subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned in a week or so as I release part 2, where you can see all the rest of the ins and outs of my fish room. If you guys got any comments or ideas or suggestions, man, I'd love for you to leave them. I'd love to try to make this thing just a little bit better than it already is. Again, as I said, there's a lot of things that I wish I would change, so whenever I get to build the next fish room, I can do those things at that time. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.